Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Relationship Schools podcast. I'm your host, Jayson Gaddis. Grateful to be here. This podcast is all about love, connection, intimacy, vulnerability in the context of each other, like dealing with ourselves and each other. And anyone who studies with me knows that relationship is a path. It's a path to awakening, a path to transformation. It's a path to healing. It's a path to becoming a more full, beautiful version of yourself. Yeah, we use the triggers of other people and the challenges we have with them to become empowered, essentially. And I love that. I love that we're doing that here. And my mission is to reach millions of people with that. Because, man, if we can just continue to help people see how brilliant they are in relationship and how to work through conflict effectively, I just think this part of our life is so vital. So thanks for being one of those people. Yeah. And if you haven't left a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, I guess it's now called, please do. I do ask that if you've received value, you can give back by leaving us a sentence or two review on Apple Podcasts. Here's one from Tiny Dan or something. I wish everyone in a relationship could listen to this podcast. So many amazing gems. The inability to resolve conflict leads to 10 years taken off one's life. This is how essential it is that we learn how to work through problems, trauma, and conflict. Thank you for sharing this gem and your amazing podcast. Yeah, thank you. Awesome review. We're getting close to 800 on our way to 1,000. That's going to be a big party when that happens. So can you help us get there? That'd be awesome. Make sure you sign up for my monthly challenge. If you're already on my email list, ignore this 30 seconds. If you're not on my email list, you want to get in on the challenge. Okay, I've given away already a couple $1,000s worth of prizes for people who are willing to participate in the challenge. Every month I'm challenging you with something, and then I send you an email and I share the books I'm reading, the podcasts I'm listening to, the songs I like, where I'm challenged in my life. It's a very personal share, basically. And if you want to be on that list, make sure you go to relationshipschool.com/challenge. Let's talk about imposter syndrome in this episode. And really just there's one step to overcome imposter syndrome in my world. And I think this is fairly straightforward, but the challenge is seeing yourself in your imposterness. So what's imposter syndrome? It's basically pretending we're someone we're not. We feel like a fraud because we're putting a mask on for others because we want to be perceived as farther along than we are, more competent, more beautiful, more capable, more whatever. So we posture. Why do we do this? Because we're scared. What are we scared of? We're scared of other people's judgment, ridicule, humiliation, being the outcast, and ultimately losing relationship and ending up alone. So because we fear all this stuff, being social mammals, we'll do anything to fit into the social group or our family. We don't want to get kicked out, right? Or be left out. So just reflect back on your own life when you did this, when you were scared of fitting in and you overcompensated, right? You tried on behaviors that weren't really you. You did things to perform and get attention as a way to belong. You slept with someone as a way to fit in. You didn't sleep with someone as a way to fit in. You joined a group and kind of went against your own truth and values because you really wanted to belong. These are all moments in time when we've all done the imposter move. And I think imposter syndrome is just a funny, cute, interesting, modern term. And I like it overall. But I think it's important to unpack it because I think a lot of people get confused here of what the intent is or why bother even talking about this. And again, basically I'm saying when you get scared of not fitting in or getting acceptance from someone or a group of people, you might posture or collapse. I talk about in my new book, The 4 Disconnectors. You'll read about that soon when the book is in your hands. But until then, just think of posture collapse, all right? You puff up, you put a mask on, you posture over your insecurities. That's posturing, right? Hiding your insecurities. Why do we do that? Again, because we don't want to get rejected or left out. Or we minimize, right? Some of us are so sensitive, we'll like minimize our bigness and how amazing we are because we don't want to upset other people and stand out. So we want to fit in. So we will shrink. We'll dim our light. We'll play small. This is also part of being an imposter, is we're doing the same thing, just in the other direction. Okay? Because we want acceptance. So this is normal. Again, all of you do it. I've done it. I still do it sometimes when I get scared. Just look back to social situations, high stakes social situations, middle school, high school, college, dating. Dating, it's classic. Some of you single folks, you've probably postured a little bit or minimized on your first date, second date, third date, because you don't want the person to go away. You want to get asked out again. It's very normal. The issue is if it's chronic, then it becomes a long-term strategy. And I guarantee you, a high-stakes relationship like a long-term partnership will smoke you out. You're going to get found out at a certain point. And because you can't hide in a long-term relationship, your neurosis and your issues and your baggage and your drama and your blame and all your messiness is going to come out. And we want it to, right? That's not a problem. I want to remind you, welcome that, because the mess is where the magic is. If the two of you have collaboration and tools to work through the crunchy stuff, because I see relationship as a path toward and into authenticity and being our true selves. Okay, so what I want you to do is give yourself permission to be a beginner. Give yourself permission to be insecure in certain environments. Give yourself permission to be sloppy, messy, unpolished, the stain on your shirt, whatever. Because that's, there's a version of you that's who you are behind closed doors. There's a real you that wants to actually, is longing, is dying to be known by another person and by a group of people. Well, if we keep hiding in shame because we're ashamed of ourselves and posturing over that, we actually will inhibit in the very thing we want, which is closeness, connection, being known. So if you feel insecure, the first step in anything, like let's say you're with a bunch of people who are rich and you're feeling small and less than because you're broke. Well, one thing to do is to posture over that and hide that brokenness and don't talk about it. Don't mention anything about it, right? Because you want to fit in with the rich people. That's one way. Another way is just say, look, this is very intimidating to be around you all because I'm broke, and it's inspiring to be around you, and it's intimidating and uncomfortable, and I feel super insecure. Because if you can say that in a group of rich people and you're broke, you are now the most powerful person in that circle because you're telling the truth about yourself. You're being honest. And I don't know about you, but I want honest people in my life who are just like, yeah, this is me. Another example, you're in a group of people that's very fit and healthy, and you feel unhealthy and not fit, and you judge yourself. Same thing. You can just go, oh shit, I'm going to pretend like I work out. I'm going to try to make it look like I can fit into this group of people, or I'll avoid them entirely, which is the more collapse, minimize thing, right? Or you can just be like, look, I want to be in your circle. I want to hang out with you guys or you. And I'm just feeling really insecure because you seem very on it with your health and I'm very much not on it with mine. Okay, so we just start being transparent and honest about where we're actually at in our life. And that allows us, if we're honest, then we can start taking steps towards, if we are truly inspired by the rich person or the healthy person or the successful relationship person or the business person, whatever we're judging ourselves as smaller or less than, and someone else is more than, they have more, they're better, they're the best, etc. If we admit where we are, that allows us to begin to set goals and objectives toward that thing that we want, the thing we claim we want. A better body, being more fit, having more money, having a relationship, having a successful relationship, having being well connected, having the status that we want in our circle or the neighborhood we live in or the community, or getting a raise, or whatever it is. Start with being honest, and then start setting goals with where you want to be, and all those little action steps to get there. And then you're going to feel, instead of feeling like an imposter, you're going to feel like a student of learning. You're going to feel confident that you earned because you took one step after another toward the goal, and then eventually you achieve it. And now you feel so confident and so secure in yourself because you're like, yes, I did this. And that group or that person might not even be interesting to you anymore. But you decided to use them as aspiration to move toward a goal that actually does matter to you, rather than shaming yourself and then not doing anything, right? And then having to posture and feel like an imposter. So that's my short advice today on imposter syndrome and how to overcome it. Okay. Nice. Hey, every month I'm going to be doing a challenge. You've probably heard about it if you've been listening. You've got to be on my email list, however, to get in on the action. And you could win, a relationship course. You could win potentially coaching with me, no charge. You could win coaching with one of our coaches. There's lots of cool stuff that you can win if you play. How do you do that? All you have to do is be on my email list and look for the email that says personal update. In that email, I share a lot of personal wins and losses, highs and lows, podcasts I'm listening to, books I'm reading, favorite song, anything I'm watching, and what my challenges are, what my opportunities are, and of course, the challenge. So just go to relationshipschool.com/challenge, and you are going to be asked to just leave your email address. Okay, and then you're on my email list. Boom, done. And just make sure it doesn't go to spam. All right? relationshipschool.com/challenge. Hey, everybody, quick interruption here from me about our weekend workshop. Are you coming? It is coming up fast. relationshipschool.com/connected. Remember, it's virtual now, 100%, so you can sit on your ass and learn about conflict and change your life. So are you up for that? I think it should be fun, intense, invigorating, and so much more. Here's what Troy said.
My wife and I have been married a little over 4 years. There was a lot of conflict that just wasn't progressing and getting anywhere. It was kind of the same thing over and over and over again. And it's a strong message. It's time to try something different. Both my wife and I have spent a fair bit of time in other workshops, but what Jayson brings to the table is he has very specific tactics, like when you're feeling overwhelmed, do this, or when your partner is getting very agitated because he or she doesn't feel like you're understanding, do this. And so there's these very specific methods to address this and that type of problem. If you have the chance to work with Jayson sort of live in a setting like this, man, I would seriously recommend it. When you talk about attachment and you have the island and the wave, or the avoidant and the ambivalent and these sorts of things, that can lead to some very, very, very difficult and seemingly intractable, insoluble types of conflict. And so he's talking about those dynamics, and he has specific solutions. That is unbelievable. I absolutely love that.
Wow. Thanks, Troy. Awesome seeing you at our workshop. And Troy, he's getting that there's so much more to do, and there are specific things we can do under stress, guys. Come check us out, relationshipschool.com/connected, and get in on this now. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share one of these videos with a friend. We want to help the planet get their act together around relationships, and you are one of them, so thank you.